Okay, maybe this is my age, but my friends and I, we used to always think of everything in terms of Chipotle, and I still think of things as like $10 Chipotle increments, you know, where if Ben and I get a really nice meal out, or no, more like if let's say we spend $50 on a meal and it was terrible, the service was bad, the food was bad, we're just like, whoa, we could have bought Chipotle. We could have bought 5 Chipotles and it would have been fantastic. So, that's how I think of money. How many Chipotles could I get for this? And would I enjoy that Chipotle more? Maybe. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a tag video. I was tagged by With a Touch of Luxury and Leslie Adina to share my 5 frugal habits as a luxury lover. And it is a good thing that I have some frugal habits because I cannot afford the have-it-all lifestyle. There are just a bunch of things that don't bring me enough joy to justify the price. I think I actually go over 5, and a lot of these are very broad categories. There's a bunch of things caught in them. We do have a special guest, my most expensive I don't know, what would you be? Best friend? Yeah. Very expensive to upkeep. That's what I was getting at. Anywho, let's get started. The first one is a really broad category, but there are just so many beauty things that I just can't justify the money on. And if you think about it, like how many things are marketed to us as women? You can nip and snip and dye so many for different parts of your body now, and I just like, I can't do it. I can't justify most of them. I don't want a lot of them, and then some of them I just can't justify the price tag for. So I don't get manicures. I maybe get 2 pedicures a year. Usually it's just like a fun thing to do with a girlfriend, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't buy a lot of skincare. In fact, I brought out the skincare I do use just because it's so minimal and pretty inexpensive. So my most expensive piece of skincare is from pharmacy. This is what I use to take my makeup off. It's a balm, the Green Clean, but this lasts me a really long time. Makeup, that's another thing. I would say I buy really minimal makeup. I used to spend a ton of money on skincare and makeup, and I have started to follow fewer beauty influencers just to, you know, really so I wouldn't be tempted. My next piece of skincare that I absolutely love is the CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser. You can get these at CVS, Target, any grocery store here in the US. The CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion, this is the typical moisturizer I use, but I do also have the cream. I got 2 tubs of these at Costco. I think it was only $20 for both of them. I use them on my legs. I'll even use it on my face during the wintertime. In fact, the lotion, I've actually used that to shave my legs. You know, when you realize you have to like rush out and you forgot to shave your legs and it's like you're doing it in the sink. I just used it last week and it was really great. I got a very smooth shave. So, you know, whatever works. Let me think. Oh gosh, I do absolutely nothing to my lashes, my eyebrows. I occasionally remember to tidy up my eyebrows. I do get the laser hair removal, so that's a big upfront investment, but there's just such a huge convenience factor with that. I am a hairy gal. I get the black spiky hairs on my chin and they are gone, so I don't have to spend hours just like plucking or carrying tweezers with me everywhere. So there are definitely some things that I can justify, but like I don't get waxes anymore. Yeah, pretty minimal on the beauty front. Oh, I also don't get facials anymore. Like, and when it comes to my hair, I don't go to the fanciest salon. My haircuts, I think they're about, so $65 plus tip. I go maybe every month and a half, every 2 months, and I don't dye my hair. I'm letting my grays come in. There's a financial benefit to that, and then just for me personally, I think there's gonna be an emotional benefit in the long run. I'm not saying that I'll never dye my hair, and I used to dye my hair all the time, and I've had every color that you can think of. Well, I've never purposefully had green. I've accidentally had green, but I have put blue in my hair, pink, red, all those things. No, I'm not saying I'll never dye my hair. Right now, it's not really worth it, and I'm hoping that in the long run, since the grays are coming in gradually, I'm never gonna have that overnight, if I stop dyeing my hair, suddenly all my hair is gray. Do you know what I mean? Like if I can have a smoother transition, maybe it'll be easier for me to deal with. Not that there would be anything wrong with dyeing my hair until the day I die. I mean, my grandmother did that, my great-grandmother did that. I don't know, we'll see, but right now I'm just not eager to spend the money. The second category is designer jewelry. I am very tempted by some Bulgari pieces, so there are definitely some things that I would love to get, but I can't afford them and buy some things that I want more. I love buying local jewelry. I like getting jewelry at craft fairs. In fact, so these are some of my favorites. I'll link the artist down below, but I am obsessed with the colors that they can make. Cartier, Bulgari, all these beautiful brands. Of course, they have things that I admire, that I think are beautiful, but I don't need to spend that money to get beautiful jewelry, and it just doesn't do enough for me. For example, the pearls I got, that's a 75-inch strand, and it was under $300. I was looking at a lot of designer versions. I mean, Chanel, those aren't even real pearls, and those are like over $1,000. It gets so expensive. So designer jewelry just isn't for me. The next big category is tech, and kind of like beauty, if you really add up all the things you could possibly be buying, and maybe a lot of them are a lot of fun, like this could be thousands of dollars, but tech just doesn't do it for me. So I use my phone until it breaks. I have an Android, I'm really happy with it. I will use my computer, apparently even past kind of breaking point. So my computer right now, there's some kind of issue with the screen, some cord is loose. My husband had the exact same issue with the exact same MacBook. So there is some disconnected cord that makes the color go all wonky. So the color on my screen has been messed up for nearly a year now, and I just haven't been able to justify buying a new one. I'm gonna eventually have to do the trade-in and get a little bit of money off, but I just don't care enough about tech to do that, and the computer works. I can connect it to a monitor if I'm watching a movie or a video or something, so that'll correct the color because the monitor works fine and it's just the color issue. But I don't care enough to spend hundreds of extra dollars to have like a perfect computer. Now, clothing is a complicated category because there are so many things that I will gladly spend the money on. Really nice boots, a cashmere sweater, a nice rain jacket. I love those things, but I also love to save money on clothing. I enjoy shopping secondhand. I will take things to a local seamstress and have them altered so they're perfect for me. I have a whole video about that. I'll link it down below. So I like saving on most of my clothes. I cannot justify buying really fancy loungewear. I feel just as good in my like Costco baggy sweatpants. I will wear those until they fall apart. I've had them for over a year now and they're still perfectly fine. There's no holes in them or anything like that. So loungewear, t-shirts, really expensive jeans. I just cannot spend over $200 on jeans. It's usually pretty easy to get them on sale. And recently I've been wearing Levi's, and I think all of those have been between $50 and $75. So like I haven't had to spend a lot of money. Related to clothes is dry cleaning. Like I will not take things to the dry cleaners anymore. When I first started my job and working in a professional environment 8 years ago, I bought a bunch of clothes and I felt like I had to take them to the dry cleaners. And I don't. It's totally unnecessary. In fact, a lot of things I buy now, I just try to buy things that I don't have to take to the dry cleaner. So thinking like lace embellishments or beading, but a lot of that I can deal with at home just with some patience, and I can hand wash it, or washing things on the delicate cycle, using those laundry bags, like those mesh bags to protect my clothing. There is one exception, and I will take my wedding dress to the dry cleaners. I mean, because it's my wedding dress, right? I'm not gonna wash that in my bathtub. It's the one exception. I will take that in. But even when it came to my wedding dress, I specifically bought one that I could turn into a cocktail dress. That was always my goal. I never wanted to buy something that I would just be able to wear once, so I took it to a seamstress and I had it cut to a cocktail length. I mean, it's still a white satin dress, so I am not wearing this all the time. That will not grocery store, I can tell you, but I have taken it, I've worn it out to like a nice dinner with my husband. Let me think. Yeah, I wore that for our first wedding anniversary. We went out to a nice dinner. Ooh, we went to Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Philadelphia. If you've never been, it's very, very good. But otherwise, yeah, I won't take anything to the dry cleaners. Hand washing something in a tub of water in my home with a little bit of detergent. I use like the free and gentle stuff so it doesn't have any dyes or perfumes in it. I can wash 99% of my wardrobe in that bucket. I mean, of course, I use the washer machine and whatnot, but if something has more embellishments or silk or my cashmere sweaters, I can wash those at home, and it actually takes way less time than it would be for me to drive to the dry cleaner and pick them back up again. People think there's a convenience factor, but really it saves me so much time and hundreds of dollars washing them at home. Just a quick one, but this is about my car. If you don't know, I did recently sell my car, but oh my gosh, I kept this for as long as I possibly could. It was 23 years old when I sold it, and to give you an idea of its condition, I got $350 for it. Essentially, I could only sell it to a local place, and that was a good deal actually, because another place offered me 300 bucks for it. But it could only go based on like the metal within that car. They were going to be selling it for scraps. It wasn't in a condition where they could sell it on to somebody else. This car was 23 years old and I loved it so much. I have taken that Honda everywhere, to so many different places, many adventures. I tried to keep it for as long as possible, but eventually there was some kind of leak issue where water would get in anytime it rained. My mechanic tried and tried, could not find the source of the leak, and eventually mold was setting in. I noticed I was having some breathing problems. I couldn't keep it anymore. I was only able to keep it for the extra months that I was able to was because we found the problem in the winter time, and since it was cold, that slowed down the mold growth, and I was constantly soaking up water. I was using the wet vac in it, and yeah, come spring it really became a problem. I couldn't keep it anymore, so I sold it. But I loved that car and it was really cheap. I can't see myself buying an expensive car in the future. I'm just not excited by them. Like, I don't need what are the fancy cars? I don't know, BMWs, Mercedes? I don't know, but yeah, I just don't care. Okay, we are on our last one, and this is so silly. I think I've said like 7 or 8 things at this point. I have no idea, but this is just such a dumb one. I had to mention it because it's only like $2 to $3. But whenever I got to lunch or a diner with my husband, we're in New Jersey, gotta love a diner for breakfast, right? But I can never justify spending the couple bucks that it would be to get something like a nice tea or coffee, juice, whatever it is. And I'm perfectly happy with water, so I'll think, do I really need to spend those couple bucks on a coffee? It's so silly considering it's really inexpensive and there's only free refills. I have no idea why, but had to throw that in. Just a silly one to end on. Please let me know, is there anything that you don't like to spend the money on? Give me some ideas, whether it's big or small. I would love to know, but thank you so much for watching and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Like a male fashion channel, and they said, oh, you know when you see a woman with like a really expensive handbag and a dirt cheap car, something just doesn't look right about that. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's me, so that's fine. And I'm like, how? I immediately, I unsubscribed, and my husband and I, we never ever watched them again because I was like, that is some energy I do not need in my life. No, thank you. That judgmental BS. And again, really pushing people into that you need to have it all lifestyle or you don't look quite right. No, we don't need that. No, thank you.